Warmer out today. Snow is all melted. Have the furnace on. Got all the tools from Peter here I need to do this. And I'll go through that with you, and we'll measure those cylinders right there. Thanks to you guys with your comments on there and some emails. I think I got this figured out. To me, this looked like an older one off the Dominators, the earlier pre-Commando ones, and I think it's the same or pretty similar. And Greg there, Marsh Enterprises, he showed me a picture from, I didn't even see the picture there on Andover Norton. I didn't look at that website, but well, on their website it's showing this being a lot fatter. And I think Peter and I made this and welded that on there. We did something on here. I'm not sure what we did there, but I'm sure we made it the same size as the other one. Yeah, so anyways, I'm going to fatten this one up. I'm going to weld a 3/16 plate on here, drill it, repaint it, and I think that'll do the trick here. Another day, another project. But today we're going to tackle the cylinders. So we figured out in the last video there that my ideal bore size would be 2.8920. In the factory manual it says second over bore size is 2.8950. I'm 3 thou less than that. And that could be due to wear in the piston, different pistons, I don't know. But I'd rather be shy than heavy, so I'm going to aim for that. And they can always go a little bit bigger. What's going on here? My legs is a little bit shorter, maybe? I don't know. Okay. But let's see what the bore is now. And this is the bore gauge kit with all the different little pieces here for the different size bores. And then there's little shims as well too to get right in between, because the stroke on this dial gauge is really just this little button on here. Not very much, 25 thou maybe. Yeah, 1 revolution, 25-30 thou. So I'm going to go with the 2.8-inch one. I already tried this out as work to see what size I needed. Come on, get in there. I need the 2.8 thou one with a 10 thou on there and a 5 thou. Pretty sure that's what I had in there. Okay. So, you know what I need? I need my, I'm going to need my mics. Just want to see if I'm in the right ballpark. Yeah, maybe I don't need that 5 thou shim in there. There we go. Okay. Okay, let me go get my mic. I got to get my mic to find out where this is at, you know, to start with, and then we work from there. Let me get my mics. Okay, so I set my micrometer to 2.8920. That's the bore that I want to achieve. So now when I want to dial my indicator into that number. So I set this on here, and I'll get over here, and then I spin that dial till that's at 0. So when this dial turns and gets to 0, that's 2.892 inches. That's the bore that I want. So you can see on there or not, but let's try it. Let's see where this bore is at. So that's what I want there. I'm holding it on an angle, but this is the actual bore. So I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5.5 thou. Got to hold this really perpendicular. Turn it towards the camera there a little bit, but there's what I want, 0 right there, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4 thou right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thou there. That's in the center of the bore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 thou. Then when I get down to the bottom, let's see the top again here. 4 thou. But most of the wear is going to be this way. There's 0, 4 thou at the top. Let's get right to the top. 4 thou, 4 thou, 2, 3, 4, 4 thou, 4.5 thou, all the way down. It's not like I'm getting it out 2 thou or 3 thou in any one spot. 4 to 4.5 thou. That's all I've got to bore that for that piston to drop in there. You can see. So these are second over, so I'm assuming that's already first over. Let's try this cylinder. Fourth thou, 4 thou. Most of the wear in the cylinder is going to be on the skirts side, not on the pin side. So that's where you want to measure it. 4 thou, 4 thou, 4 thou. That's all I got to go, 4 thou. Okay. Here's a phone rang. Let's try it again. Went to Peter's work and got everything I need, I think. There's a cutting oil or honing oil. Should wear a respirator and apron. Are optional, I guess. variable speed drill. I've got a drill variable speed one, but it's a battery operated one. Better to have a electric one. And this is the hone, machinist's hone. And stones go on here. And here's a coarse stone and a fine stone. But I might not even use that coarse stone. I might just go right to the fine. A couple strokes with that coarse hone and I'll be there. Okay, so this is the coarse one, and these stones are fairly worn too. I could start with that, I guess. I don't know. It's marginal. And these are the fine stones. 4 thou. I don't know if you do with a fine stone or do 2 thou with the coarse stone. Start with a fine stone. Doesn't work, I'll go to the coarse stone. Okay. So let's go like this way here. Has a little worm gear on the ends. Pull this right about out, like that, and I'm going to pull this right out. That's the scraper. Scraper one on the other side. Just going to scrape the grit and the oil off. That locks it all in. And then as I'm boring it, I can tighten up this thumb screw here a little bit. And that's what spreads the stones. Okay, let me get that chalked up. Okay, I think I'm set up. Don't laugh. I got these cylinders raised up about 1/2 inch so that the hone can bottom out on the table, and so I'll get past the bottom, and then when I'm honing it, I'm going to try to pull it up about 1/2 inch above the top, and then go up and down. When honing, it's all about timing, speed, timing, tension, and you know, you don't want to go down really slow down and slow up, or you just get spirals, and the rings won't seat. And then you don't want to go really quick, where you get your hash marks at a 90, you know, and then it won't hold oil. So it's just a technique, just to get the right pace, and then the right cross hatching, like at 30 degrees or so. And that's what I'm going to try. What I really need is another person here to continuously lube this, and I don't have one. So I think I'm just going to have to make a couple strokes, squirt a little oil. This is special honing oil, and put a little bit in there too. When I'm going to make a mess, for sure it's going to be a mess here. Get those lubed up. So I'll do a few passes and I'll measure it and see where I'm at. Let me clean my hand. Let's try it. You know, the last time I used one of these was in a machine shop, and it's all on a bench and hydraulic and that's a little bit too loose, so I'm going to tighten it up a little bit. Try that. Whoa. Tighten it up a little more. I think I got to pull this out and tighten it up a little more. It's too loose. Oh, let me get my flashlight. The variable speed on that drill is really sensitive. I was hoping it was going to be, I could dial it in, but I can't. Already that's got some, it's cleaned it right up already. Like it's good already. All that little pitting and everything's gone. I hardly touched it. Oh. Let me get my bore gauge and check that. Oh yeah, I haven't even touched it yet. It's still got like 4.5 thou. So, to tighten this thing up, I've got to pop it out. Get it in there. Like that. Let's try it again. Two-man job. Oh, I see. I gotta just move that a little bit. Oh, okay. This little collar is what adjusts it right here. I don't know if you can see, but I thought I had to bend it over and turn it past this bar, but no, there's little notches. I can adjust it while I'm going. Okay. All right. Let's get there. Okay, let's get this tighter. Too loose. Tighter. There we go. And you're supposed to pull it out spinning as well too. I could really feel it biting in that time. But probably could have started with the coarse stones. I don't think I'm going to make a dent in it with this. Still 4 thou. Try one more time, then I'm going to shut you guys off. I'm going to be here a while. It's too sensitive. And it's hard on the back. I can't get that variable speed to go low. Yeah, I think I'm going to put the core stones in and give it a couple tries that way, because this is going to take forever, I think, with the fine stones. I'll get back to you. New plan. I can control this cordless drill much easier. If you can see, probably got to take the camera off the stand. I think which I will do. Let me just measure it first. Oh, we're getting there now. Took off about 1 thou, so I got a few more to go. Check the very bottom here too. Oh. Yeah, I could take off a little bit more off the bottom. Okay, I'm going to screw around with this. Okay guys, I'm getting down to the last thou, I believe. Probably should be back a little further. And hasn't taken that long, maybe 15 minutes. But what was happening is I was taking a little bit too much off the top. I was at like 2 thou at the top and 3 thou at the bottom, so then I had to stop and just hone the bottom. Just move it a little bit like this to get the bottom caught up with the top. Pretty close there now. A lot easier to control the speed with this battery operated one. Get a little bit more on the bottom still. Spin it on the way out. I got a bad back. Okay. See where we're at here now. Yeah, I'm measuring it this way, but I'm also measuring it the other way. And yeah, still 1 thou, I think. 1 thou. Yeah, I could take a little bit more off the bottom, but I'm getting down to the last thou. And I just went over and rechecked my bore gauge just to make sure I didn't bump it or knock that 0 out, because if I do that, I'm screwed. So a little bit more to go. Okay, getting real close now. Remember when I said I was at 15 minutes? It's 2 hours later. I've had to take the cylinder out, flip it upside down, hone it from that way, flip it this way, back and forth, because if I'm honing from the top, it seems to be not enough pressure on the bottom, and I was always getting a 1 thou taper, so I just flip it over, hone it that way, flip it. Now I've been flipping it back and forth every time I do it, so it's pretty much dead straight now. It might be a 1/2 thou out, but I don't know how well. Oh, where's the camera here? Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm trying to get it to that 0, right? Like I could take off a couple 10,000ths, or 1/2 thou maybe. I might just give it a couple more strokes and get the last 1/2 thou out, but that's where I'm at. Every increment on this dial gauge is 1/2 thou. The bigger increments is 1 thou. So I'm down to the 1/2 thou now. And I can check it in any direction to make sure it's round. And it's bang on. And then there's one other final way to make sure you're right. Oh, see if the piston fits. Still a lot of grit in there, but let's just see if it's getting in there. Oh yeah, so it's right there. The piston's fitting in. What I ended up doing was remeasuring my piston again today, because I had it pretty close, within a couple thou, and the piston was only fitting in about that far. And so I thought I gotta remeasure everything all over again. And this is aluminum piston, and the other day when I was in the shop here, I think it was 40 degrees. Today I've got the furnace on, it's probably 70, 65, 70 in here. And I don't know, but this piston's a thou bigger than the other day when I measured it. I was getting the 2.8895 or 2.889, and today I'm getting a 2.890 or 891, and then I had my 2.5 thou to it. So my measurements were out by like a 1.5 thou, almost 2 thou. So as last resort, you can always check with your piston. I think that's as close as I'm going to go right now. I'll clean it all up, and then I can always use the feeler gauge check too, right? I'll stick a 2 thou feeler gauge in there. If the 2 thou feeler gauge is too tight, then I got to take a 1/2 thou more out. Okay, let me do that. Try to do this with one hand. Gonna measure this. I guess I can turn on a bit of an angle. There's a 0 there. Go down an inch or so. There's a 0 in there. Just make it a little past. A little past the 0. Around there. So she's less than 1/2 thou. Less than 1/2 thou, maybe out around this. I remeasured everything all over again, rechecked the piston again, set the mic again, added 2.5 thou, checked it on here, put the dial gauge in, and put just the right one here, left one. Put the piston in, and I don't have a long 2 thou feeler gauge, but I've got a 3. And when if I can push it through with the 3 in there, but it's tight. It's a tight fit. Here's my 3 thou feeler gauge here. So that's it. I got 1 cylinder done. Took 2 hours. You can do it, but it's not for the faint of heart. I got 1 more to do tonight, so I can get this stuff back to him. But yeah, it's the main thing. You want to make sure she's straight, make sure she's true round, check it in every direction all the way through. And I had to keep flipping it over. I bore it from the bottom, bore it from the top, bore it from the bottom, bore it from the top, just to keep it nice and square, because it was getting tapered. It was a thou, 2 thou out when I kept honing it from the top, even though I was pushing that hone out the bottom. So that's the trick to that. Honing the cylinder. I'm going to do the next one. Still haven't got my rings. I'm going to go check the mailbox down there. Maybe my rings came in today, because I can't even put this together without the rings. And then when I get the new rings, I've got to gap them in here, make sure they're gapped properly. I'm going to go check that right now. Finish this video up. No key. Nope, they usually leave a key right in here if I got a parcel. Rats.